are back from the gym. It was my first time lifting weights since this pregnancy. Here's a little look at the bum. I don't know if you can see it, but as the day goes on, it just gets bigger and bigger. I'm kind of cold, so I'm gonna throw on a sweatshirt and then make some lunch and then sit down and talk about the topic of quiet time, because I had a lot of questions on that and I'm just hoping this can be helpful. I'm wearing a Christmas sweater. Got all the goods. 2 eggs, 2 egg whites, bagel thin, and then I have Isaiah's leftover guacamole and my tzatziki. I went to Costco the other day and I got this huge thing of them because I've been buying these and I was just going through it so fast, but it's gonna be good. Isaiah's down for quiet time right now, and I felt like this was a good opportunity to talk about how I structure his quiet time. I shared on my stories a picture of him like playing in his room on the monitor and was just like talking about how I'm thankful for quiet time because he does it for about an hour and a half every day. And a lot of people were like, how do you get them to do that? Especially when you have a super energetic, rambunctious toddler. When we transitioned out of a crib, I was like, how are we gonna do this? And then introducing potty training, it just gave me a lot of anxiety. Yeah, just kind of a little background on my style is I did not introduce the TV until he was about 2, and he still has never used a tablet or an iPad. So I've always been very team open-ended play and not a lot of electronics. I don't know that I'm necessarily like Montessori style, but I don't know, I just feel like he didn't need it and I was staying home with him. So unless like I really needed to like cook dinner and something was wrong or he was sick, I just didn't want to rely on those types of activities for him. How we structure quiet time. When he was in the crib, we started it because he kind of was dropping his nap and it was getting a little messy because I was like, no, I still need this break, but I'm not ready to transition you out of the crib yet. We have a hatch and I would use yellow to say wait for mama, and then green means it's time to get up. And so we did that in the mornings and during quiet time, and he really took to it. Then when we transitioned to a bed, he started messing with the hatch a lot. Like he kept touching it and wanted to change it rainbow colors. So we moved to a timer, which a timer with a toddler is the best thing ever. He's obsessed with timers. He wants me to set my timer on my watch, set my timer with Google for anything. And then once it goes off, the transition from one activity to the next seems to go a lot smoother. We use this little timer that I found on IKEA. I'll go in with him, make sure he uses the potty before. He'll see me set the timer, and he likes to have the visual timer sitting on his little dresser. And he knows that he can talk to me through the monitor, so if he needs to go potty again, or if when I leave he wants the light off and then he changes his mind and he wants the light on so that he can play instead of rest, then I'll always like come in. But I do try to just ask him and be proactive about things. I've thought about getting him his own lamp that he would learn how to turn on and off, but I'm a little nervous what that would do with bedtime. So for now, I just go in and he'll call to me if we need to go potty or anything. In his room right now for quiet time, I have magnetiles, building blocks, Legos, these building discs that I just got from Target, puzzles, books, and then a little drawing pad. So all of those things I basically just keep in his room in bins. We still use them not during quiet time, but I can just keep them in there, and then if he wants to use them, we'll just take them out and bring it into the playroom because it's not hard to transport those. I might start rotating it, but he kind of gets like fixated on one thing. Like right now it's his drawing pad, and that's basically all he wants. So he hops in his bed, he grabs his drawing pad, and he'll just chill for the whole 90 minutes, like sometimes just doing the drawing pad. Sometimes he gets up and he messes with the timer, and this is not a very, I probably should just get another timer, but if he messes with it, it resets the time. 30 minutes had passed, it will just reset back to 90. and start counting down again. And like, I'm tempted to use that to my advantage sometimes and be like, would he just stay in here? But then, you know, mom guilt. So I always keep a record on my phone, like what time he goes in there and when he'll come out. And that's when I'll use the hatch and I'll turn it green and put the birds on once the time's up. And I'll come in and he's like, the timer didn't go off. And I'm like, yeah, because you messed with it. I feel like the first time I did it, I was really nervous. I didn't know how it would go. And so I think maybe I did like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And then there were a few times, yeah, when we did this transition that he actually would fall asleep and I'd have to like run in there and grab the timer so it didn't wake him up. For the most part, yeah, you just kind of build up their tolerance, and he kind of just understood, I think because we were doing it in the crib, what he could do in his room. I know some people have said they had to kind of demonstrate what quiet time was, but he just kind of got it. And we do have one of those little child-proof doorknobs on his door, so he can't come out. And I mean, think what you want, you can think that's mean, but it's like I said, obviously I'm not gonna ignore him if he has to go to the bathroom or if he needs something, but he also knows he can talk to me through the monitor, and sometimes it's just a ridiculous request and I can tell him like, no, we're not doing that right now, and the timer hasn't gone off. I would say we do it 9 out of 10 times. We usually do it around 2:30, I guess, and then it'll go till about 4. But it also depends what we have that afternoon. Like if he has an activity, we'll shift it around, and if we have like family in town, then maybe we'll skip it. It kind of depends like what our day looks like. Some other stuff I wanted to share is just talking about open-ended play toys in general for toddlers, because like I said, we don't have a lot of electronic toys. I would say on top of the stuff I listed, we love wooden train set, his toy cars, he has a play kitchen, kind of have toys spread out through the house. So in this room I'm in, we have a few bins that we can keep toys in. His playroom is more just for like rambunctious activity, where I just wanted a big open space for him to be able to run around. So he has this nugget in there that he can just like go crazy. He has his basketball goal in there. And he and Michael honestly just wrestle a ton in there, and it's just a bigger space. So we'll bring toys in there. I feel like he doesn't have an excessive amount of toys because he also just loves to play outside, and he loves to do coloring and Play-Doh, like all sorts of arts and crafts. And I definitely don't do that for quiet time because I do not trust him with markers in his room or Play-Doh. A lot of our day is spent doing those types of arts and crafts and then playing outside. Since it was summer, we were going to the pool a ton. I hope that that's helpful, but if you have any follow-up questions, I didn't dive in deep enough on something, or you have a specific situation, leave a comment below and I will definitely try to help. I'm not an expert, I'm just a first-time toddler mom, and this is what works for us. I'm about to get him up right now, so I wanted to show you like how we do this. Have the green, have the bird, and then you can hear it. And I'll go get him. I'm gonna go get him and we'll have the rest of our day to kind of play and have dinner. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know what other types of videos you want to see, and until next time, I will see you next time.